Today we're doing the video demo for iPhone on how to use Scout Theory. First thing you're going to do is the top left three lines, tap on that, and that will bring up your main menu. You're going to click on Add a new property. Area name is something that you can pick that's unique to you. It doesn't matter what you choose. This is something that you recognize consistently. Address, put in the closest street address you can. If you don't know the exact number, that's fine. Town, city is what it is. Menu pops up, auto populates, create and set boundary. Now, the program is going to ask you to set your pin on the correct parcel. This parcel I selected is a fishing game parcel, public land. I'm not familiar with the exact address or exactly where it is on this road. Bear with me for a moment here, and we are on it. So we're going to go ahead and hit move pin, and then we're going to tap on the parcel to add it. Hit confirm. That will highlight the parcel that we want to add. If you want to add additional adjacent parcels that you hunt, maybe you've got permission for 2 or 3 additional parcels, tap on those. If you want to remove one by accident, I didn't mean to tap on it, just double click it again. You will see a dotted line outlining our parcel boundaries, roughly speaking. And we realized we want to add another parcel. So go back into that menu, hit edit boundary. And when you tap on edit boundary, it will bring up the property screen again. You're going to confirm that your pin is where you want it, and then you tap on additional parcels that you forgot to tap the first time. You're going to hit confirm, and that will add the parcel, as you can see. Now, let's say for whatever reason you lose access to that. Just go in there, confirm, and you've got your property added. Now, on the right side of the screen, you're going to see a bunch of buttons, squiggly line, a pin, a camera, the wind, and a directional arrow. The top one is draw, shape, or annotation. Go ahead and tap on that. You can add lines or areas. We're going to go ahead and add a corridor, indicating deer travel patterns. So let's say we were out here scouting, saw a game trail. We're going to go ahead and mark that as we move through the property. And then we're going to go ahead and tap on it and hit edit. We're going to add notes to it. Let's say that we saw the game trail, but we didn't see any deer sign. We could see it was heavily traveled. We're going to want to put that note in there because the model interprets all of your notes, and any data you put in there, it assumes is correct unless you say so otherwise. So if you're not confident in something, just add a note stating that. That way the model knows, okay, this step isn't definitely a game trail for deer, but it's a game trail. Moving on below the draw shapes, we've got add a scout pin. You can either use my location or tap to add it manually. Obviously, we're not on the field right now, so we're just going to tap to add manually. You're going to select the type of sign you're scouting. In this case, it's deer scat. Put in the label and then select the type. You can put the date observed, any notes, if it's fresh, if it's stale. Again, we're constantly trying to help the model to know what you know and see what you're seeing on the ground. We're going to go ahead and click save. If we set a game camera out in the field, we need to mark the game camera location on the map, tap on the camera icon, and place it where you want it. You're going to add the camera name at the top, correlate it with whatever you name the cameras in your trail cam app. That way it makes it easier for you to log photos when they start coming in. Facing direction is very, very important. Facing direction tells the model which way the camera is aimed. And then as you're adding sightings in the further steps, that facing direction correlates. If you've got a deer crossing right to left, the camera's facing east, then the model knows where the deer is coming from, or it knows the direction it's coming from and the direction it's going to. It then begins to try and figure out what is drawing it over there. To add a cam sighting, bottom of the map, click add cam sighting, select the camera, the sex and direction of travel, like we talked about as being important. You can add notes here if they're helpful. This is probably the screen where I add notes the least, unless it's a buck. And I'm trying to track down a specific buck. If you have multiple cameras will show up in that menu. You can backdate your sightings. I usually wait till Friday, Saturday, and add a week's worth of cam sightings all at once on on the computer. Some people do it right as they come into their phone. It's all a matter of preference. Here, we're going to go ahead and add a note. Let's say it was a little spike horn that walked by. Just add those notes, and that helps the model keep track of knowing what we know. Once you've added those cam sightings, back on this menu, we're going to add another scout pin. Let's say that we saw some oak trees or a grove of oak trees. Go ahead and mark that as a food source. Where we hunt, deer love the acorns when they're hitting. I'm sure everywhere else they do too. Mark it as a potential food source. And then what are you seeing on the ground? Are the acorns dropping? Does it look like it's going to be a bad acorn year? Again, this is all stuff you want to get into the model so that you're helping it know what you know. We've got green acorns dropping early here in early August. Put that note in. Then next thing we're going to do, edit this colors if you want. That way you can see them easier. It's all a user preference. Color does not matter to the model. If you want to send us feedback, tap on the button on the left. Go ahead and add bug report, feature request, general feedback, or other. You can put in whatever. If it's good, if it's bad, we want to hear it. This information goes right to us directly. It's easier than sending an email and a great way to interact with us. The program does look for certain words that you're typing in, so make sure that when you're typing in, if you get that message, just reword it and it will get to us. Go ahead and click the X when you're done. And next thing we're going to do is go over the wind scent coverage. This was a feature we put in so that when we're scouting, we know where our scent's going. Also very helpful while we're hunting. So nice little feature there. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and tap on Analyze Property. Now this is where all the magic happens. When you tap on Analyze Property, the model begins processing all of the data that you've put into it. Sometimes people will set up a property and instantly hit analyze without adding any data, without adding any camera sightings, and the model is going to analyze it off of the terrain and topography. It's great. It will give you some really good insights. Um, but if you have knowledge of that property, go ahead and scout the property, add your scout pins, put in there what you know, because the more information that you can put in, the model is going to come up with that much stronger of an analysis. Now, the analysis can take a few minutes sometimes, so we're going to go ahead and just fast forward through that. Analysis is complete. You get notified, you hit OK at the top. You're going to see the AI paths and pins show up on your map, and you're going to see your field plan populate if you tap on the top right. Field plan is what the model needs to know the most. So go ahead and tap on one of those field plan tasks. It's telling you what it needs. If you want to know where it is, that it needs the information, go ahead and tap on show on map and that will give you an orange beacon. If you tap on any of the AI paths and pins, that will tell you what the model suspects. So go ahead and tap on one of the lines or shapes to see what it's saying. We're going to go ahead and tap on the one all the way to the left, which is a evening feed corridor, confidence level 5 out of 10. So the model's seen your oak trees, it's seen your camera observations, and it begins to try and figure out how and why and where the deer are moving. So, is that helpful? You go out and you scout that pin and you observe multiple piles of deer scat. Put that into the model, let it know that that was a correct prediction, and that just makes the model that much stronger. Go ahead and finish typing in the notes. And remember that all of the paths and pins are able to be provided feedback in that function. If there's a funnel, if there's suggested stand site. All of those are options that the program is going to provide to you. It's important to provide that feedback thumbs up or thumbs down so the model knows if it's giving you incorrect information or not. If something's incorrect, simply click the thumbs down and explain why. It's important that you provide as much information in detail as you can. You're the one that's on the ground seeing what's out there. So let's say it suggests a stand site, but it turns out it's in a sapling grove full of prickers and thorns, and there's just no way that you're going to be able to hunt that. You can't clear the land. It's just important that you get the information in there. Anyways, that's the overview for iOS and how to use Scout Theory. Please reach out to us with any questions. Info at dearintel.app. Thanks for watching and let me know if you have any questions, please.